Hello and welcome to 1873 of the H series. We will continue the lecture 1871, Retching on Rome, Vomitous, Loathing and Visceral, Disgust in Affect Theory, and the Apocalypse of John by Stephen D. Moore at Drew Theological School. Last time we went into how reaching out to the exterior brings about an interior and vice versa. We mentioned vomiting as the reversal of the ingoing from the exterior to the interior via the mouth. Now it's the interior coming out. This to be paralleled or compared to the anus mentioned earlier. The anus being the exiting, but also can be a place of entering. It connects. We also mentioned that being on the skin connection, the loathing, the abject, is closely connecting to feeling it on the skin. You are in direct living contact with it. And here is a good one. Aside, I experience a gagging sensation and still farther down spasms in the stomach, and all the organs shrivel up, provoke tears and bile, increase heartbeat, cause forehead and hands to perspire. Can we go to compare this to what we mentioned earlier about the Klein bottle, who the outside enters the inside to make an inside. That is how an inside and an outside difference come to existence or come to be. We also have it in the voice, something I thought about since. We have the tone voice that can tremble of abjection, of horror, to make it even more so real. Jezebel too, as we say, is a production of speech acts that, beginning with her scorn-saturated name, Jezebel, of course, amount to the exclamation, "That's disgusting." They deeply participate. And of course, this deep connection here to John, who ate the scroll that at the beginning felt sweet, but once digested became bitter in the stomach. It is also this going in and going out that makes for time. So putting sharp distinctions between inside and outside make time impossible. Time becomes then magic. I will continue my read. Read the last couple of sentences on 521 as to make a re-entering into the text. Not too bad. Re-entering. For Jezebel 2 is a production of speech acts that, beginning with her scorn-saturated name, amount to the exclamation, "That's disgusting!" And these speech acts are also designed to create a community bound together through the shared condemnation of a disgusting object. The word disgust does not designate the repugnant or the negative in general. It refers precisely to what makes one desire to vomit. A community of disgust that signifies its unity by eating together, but also by vomiting together. But if the woman Jezebel is the nauseating object that has somehow slid inside, that has been swallowed but must now be ejected, disgust as when spitting out bad tasting food, recognizes the difference between inside and outside the body, and what should and should not be let in. What is the woman Babylon? To a not insignificant extent, Jezebel and Babylon are but two alternate names for the same alien entity. Whose other unspoken name is Roma or Romi. While Jezebel, however, is a figure for what contaminates from within, Babylon is a figure for what contaminates from without, the exterior. Babylon is the outside, what envelopes and threatens to engulf, to contaminate absolutely through the asphyxiating proximity of its infinitely bloated bulk. While Jezebel is a slithering sliver of that alien outside that has surreptitiously slipped inside. But the simultaneous inside-outside nature of the perceived threat against which the apocalypse apostrapically organizes itself, makes its project Promethean. The apocalypse impossible project is the Vomitous ejection of a loathsome alien entity that has somehow gotten inside one, but in whose monstrous body one is also somehow contained. Jezebel writhes in John's belly, but John rises or writes in Babylon's belly. Revelation's response to this uncomfortable predicament accords strictly with the logic enunciated in 18:6. Render to her as she herself has rendered. The expulsion or the annihilation of the intolerable other in Revelation is, in an appearance of contradiction, accomplished through its incorporation or ingestion. John eats the thing that's eating him. More precisely, John stages a scene in which he has the beast, a figure for Rome, devour the whore, equally a figure for Rome. Does Rome now retch on Rome, ignoring and choking down its own quivering flesh, digit by digit, limb by limb, organ by organ? And then John stages a further ghastly but no less necessary scene in which the followers of the beast are themselves devoured in the great supper of God. Come gather to eat the flesh of kings, the flesh of captains, the flesh of the mighty, flesh of horses and their riders.
Nami, nami, nami.
The eaters of John's people, the unclean others, who threaten to incorporate or assimilate it, are themselves eaten. Certain kinds of particularly difficult eating originate not in the search for pleasure, but in exploring the meaning of extreme and difficult emotions. And the beast itself is condemned to be eternally devoured by fire. Is John's eliminative strategy successful? On the surface, it would seem to be. The whore vanishes, never to appear again. After being devoured by the beast with the horny horns. The whore disappears into the beast. And the beast disappears into the flames. Meanwhile, Jezebel, has, by reason of the horrid history that sticks to her name, always already been devoured by dogs. Bow wow wow. Bow wow wow. Huh? When they went to bury her, they found no more of her than the skull and the feet and the palms of her hands. When they came back and told Jehu, he said, "This is the word of the Lord, which spoke by his servant Elijah. The dogs shall eat the flesh of Jezebel, the corpse of Jezebel shall be like dung on the field, so that no one can say, this is Jezebel. Ooh, it's hard. And with impeccable logic, the dogs are later denied admittance to the heavenly city. Outside are the dogs.
Wow, wow, wow.
Bow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Equivocal emotions. Or equivocal motions. The mechanics of disgust in Revelation, however, are complicated by the fact that the disgusting attracts as well as it repels. So cannot be entirely vomited or excreted from the system. The great whore, for example, cannot be an absolute object of disgust. At least as Ahmed construes disgust. Because disgust is deeply ambivalent, involving desire for or an attraction towards the very objects that are felt to be repellent. Etymologically, emotion is motion. It comes from Latin emovere, move or move out. To emote is to be a body in motion. And in motion in relation to an object. Disgust pulls us away from the object. A pulling that feels almost involuntary, as if our bodies were thinking for us, on behalf of us. Come out here, my people, so that you do not share in her plagues. The apocalypse urges. Seeking to instill primal repulsion in the bodies of its audience. But the countervailing force is desire, desire, desire.
Desire.
The no of disgust leaves room for various dimensions, ranging from secret to overt, of affirmation,
Affirmation. Affirmation.
which pulls us towards objects and open us to the bodies of others.
Oi, oi, oi.
Yeah. Perhaps to recline at table with them
Nami, nami.
and partake of the same food as them.
Nami, nami.
That separately ingested food symbolically uniting us with them. Indeed.
Mm.
But what if the food in question were itself an object of disgust for
Bleh.
still other bodies? Food sacrificed to the idols, say,
Bleh. Bleh.
and hence tainted by abomination.
Bleh.
You shall not eat any abhorrent thing. Such as the food that Jezebel and her disciples are accused of eating. The body recoils from such horrid objects.
Oi, oi, oi.
Yeah, indeed. Oy, oy, oy. You say ouch, ouch, ouch in English.
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
It pulls away with an intense movement that registers in the pit of the stomach.
Bleh.
The movement is the work of disgust.
Bleh.
The movement is also the predominant emotion or motion.
Emotion. Ee.
That Revelation seeks to induce in its audience. A heaving of the stomach obtained by rhetorically thrusting its finger down the audience's throat.
Throat. Throat. Lungs.
Revelation is a work of disgust. It wants its audience to depart, depart, go out from there. Touch no unclean thing. Go out from the midst of it, purify yourselves. Isaiah 52:11. Retch on Rome. Rah. But Revelation also flirts with the object of disgust, even while performing the work of disgust. Disgust brings the body perilously close to an object, only then to pull away from the object in the registering of the proximity as an offense. Offense.
Offense.
Offense. First, the proximity. When I saw her,
Thaumasa.
Thaumasa, Thauma mega, John concedes.
I was amazed with a great amazement.
He was amazed with great amazement. Astonished with a mighty astonishment. Fascinated with an intense fascination. This is the only vision among all his visions to elicit this reaction from the seer. Ha ha ha. The same reaction as it happens that the entire earth has to the beast. And the reaction that tethers over into outright worship. The entire earth was amazed. A thauma. See, by the beast, and they worship the beast. Now the distance. Why are you so amazed? The interpreting angel asks John and continues in effect. I will tell you this woman's disgusting secret. Oh no. As Ahmad notes, the distancing requiring proximity is crucial to the intercorporality of the disgust encounter. More precisely, the object becomes disgusting in a way that allows the subject to recoil.
Ouch. 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 Ouch.
Indeed, ouch.
Ouch.
Indeed, ouch.
Ouch.
Only after an intimate contact, whether real or imagined, that is felt on the surface of the skin. Hence the necessity that Rome, the intimately encroaching yet ultimately alien culture, be a prostitute in Revelation.
Oh no. Oh no.
terms that engender an intensity of effect. Because the intolerable cultural closeness of Rome requires corporal metaphors that evoke intimate contact, desired but unwanted. Felt on the surface of the skin. Disgust disturbs the skin with a possibility of desire, and the disturbance does not always even talk about affect virtually amounts to cutaneous contact.
Cutaneous contact.
Happen at a distance. The skin of the unclean other may be pressed too close to easily move away from it, to push away or push off from it, though the emotion of disgust, Babylon brushes up against John. Babylon touches John in an unexpected place. The whore has followed John to Patmos. He feels her hot breath on his neck as he pens his apocalypse and plots her destruction. And there, I think we have a destruction, yes.
Hopeless.
Patmos. Here we have an excellent point to make a stop.
Destruction. Last word of page 23.
1525. A lot of things here in this short little text. The inside going into the outside and disgust having affection in it. This double take, I think, is indeed very important. Page 522, we spoke about disgust. And the fourth paragraph or third, depends. Disgust as when spitting out bad tasting food, recognizes the difference between inside and outside the body and what should and should not be let in. Here we have a very clear understanding of what is inside and what is outside and how they interact. It's the fourth paragraph of these short paragraphs from the beginning. It is no more than 8 lines down. Yeah. Think of the Higgs boson once more in CERN. It's very hard to detect or make whatever expression you use. Both are apt. You do not discover the Higgs boson, you make it at the same time. And you make it by not doing or turning things into nothingness. The Higgs boson actually equals 0 in many aspects. But it is the doing. It's not a static existence. It is the moving from inside to outside or vice versa. Things are movement. And that break between the regular thinking of what is possible can only come from what is past, which is a grave limitation, because every experiment is new. Every next moment that comes into reality is untainted by the prehistory. We get an enormously narrow world when we let the previous be a sort of limiter to what can go on. So also see past and future in this way, how they re-enter into each other rather than be sharply disjunct. Further down, so many few small paragraphs here, but towards the end, at the very end of the penultimate paragraph, at the end of that paragraph, we find Jezebel writhes in John's belly, but John writhers in Babylon's belly. It's very goodly. He writhers in Babylon's belly, but he also writes. He has the scroll in his stomach, so there is also a writing process. Here we break the expectations, I'd say. There is an asymmetry break here, which is exactly what the Higgs boson is. It is not a creation from what's going on in the past. It has newness to it. A breaking of the explanations that went on before, or could go on before. Do we have a name in everyday language for such a breakage? What could it be? Let's go to the next page. Once more, It's a bit hard to tell where to go. But see above the subtitle, equivocal emotions, towards the end of that page. Yeah, you go up a bit. There. Just above the subtitle, we read that the dogs shall eat the flesh of Jezebel. The corpse of Jezebel shall be like dung on the field, so that no one can say, this is Jezebel. And with impeccable logic, the dogs are later denied admittance to the heavenly city. Outside are the dogs. So the dogs are helpful. They make it possible to say that Jezebel is nowhere, just like the Higgs boson. What do they get? Not an entrance to heaven. This is the symmetry breaking. The logic, the explanations pile up, the syllogisms, proposition, and an answer. Let me give you one directly. All men are bearded. Aristotle has a beard. Conclusion from the two propositions is that Aristotle is a man. This is not how it's done here. It is opening up that strictness. It's more to Woody Allen's take on the same thing. And listen to the break. All men are bearded. Aristotle has a beard. Therefore, all men are Aristotle. He breaks it. He does a quantum mechanical experiment, which is not decided explicitly. There are no explicit rules in quantum mechanics. They are implicit, and therefore you can break them. The breaking of this logic with the dogs is humor. At the bottom of the physics is humor. Humor would be impossible for the fellow that my colleague met the other day, although he is very well spoken and extremely intelligent, the Swedish author and historian Dick Harrison. But he's stuck in the academic idea that the future somehow comes from the past in a strict manner, and that the future is decided in a way that makes both the past and the future to be partially known somehow. Very similar to the Laplacian idea that give me just every coordination in the universe and I will tell you what's going to happen next. No, no, no. This is not how the universe works. It breaks by humor. Yes, it could be that all men are bearded. Aristotle is has beard, and therefore Aristotle is a dog or a horse. There's no following of explicit rules in the universe. that would actually be an extremely limited view on what's happening in the universe. It would be smaller and smaller for every time. Because what we explicitly can mention has to do with another language game. What we talk to others about usually refer to the strict word communication, explanation, and logic. Explanation above all. That's a very small part of what's happening in the world. No, it's motion instead. Motion is what makes everything understandable. And if we go to the end of this page, color, please. At the very last, we find, and continue on the next page, etymologically, emotion is motion. It comes from Latin emovere, move or move out. To emote is to be a body in motion, and in motion in relation to an object. You get hints here. Disgust pulls us away from the object. A pulling that feels almost involuntarily, as if our bodies were thinking for us on behalf of us. Well, that is what the body does. It carries movement. It's the body that thinks. Only the body is capable of breaking. Breaking is thinking. As Edward de Bono would say, all constructive and workful thinking is asymmetrical. He was truly a quantum mechanical thinker. And to transfer that to Wittgenstein, it's not rule 1 or 2. It's not ostension. It is not explanation as rule number 2. It's rather rule number 3 and 4. 3 being implicit in the language, not explainable or shouldn't be explained. Nothing is decided from the outset. Jesus walked on water. We cannot decide what happened in the past based on what we explicitly can say, or an individual decides what's possible to say because he has that way of expressing himself. It's a confusion in language game. And we need the contact, the cutaneous contact, to see on page 525. Going to the end there. Even to talk about affect virtually amounts to cutaneous contact, skin contact. We need to be in contact because it's movement, not some mysterious, non-humorous essence. Understanding that has come to me thanks to this echoing here and putting humor into the lectures. This is not solely to amuse us, but to break the terrific and horrible, all men are bearded, Aristotle is a bearded man, and slash like a mechanic's constant conclusion. No, my friends, that is not how it works. Welcome to the quantum mechanical age. Kalle, please jump in.
Thank you. Let's go to page 20 in the PDF. 522 in the printout. So here I was happy to see a new reference to Derrida, to a paper that I don't recognize, economimesis. And I will take it to my task to look up this reference today or tomorrow. And it's from, I will read the context. It's footnote 78, and it's, no, excuse me, did I say? Ah, yes, 78. It was this phrase. The word disgust, says Derrida, does not designate the repugnant or the negative in general. It refers precisely to what makes one desire to vomit.
Oh!
Oi, says the great Derrida. But let me move on to something else.
Please.
Yes. Here, in this phrase in cursive, the same page.
Italics.
Italics, thank you.
Italics.
Italics. Babylon is the outside, while Jezebel is the thing which is inside. That is what Moore says, but I don't completely agree with this. Babylon is both the outside and the inside. Why so? Babylon stands for Rome, the outside enemy, but Babylon stands also for Jerusalem, the inside enemy.
Oh yeah.
And you remember, as today, the majority of scholars say that Babylon is Rome.
Yeah.
While minority scholars say Babylon is Jerusalem. While I say it's both, because John wanted to kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, definitely.
Both the outside or the inside.
Very good.
Absolutely. Why kill only one bird when you can kill two birds? But let me see something. So here I don't agree with Moore, but I want to highlight a phrase that I do love, which is perhaps the best in the whole paper. This one that you already mentioned. Jezebel rises. How do you pronounce it? Rises.
It's very hard to pronounce. Rises
in John's belly, but John writes or rises in Babylon's belly. Why do I like it? So this is like the clam bottle logic of inside and outside, and that's one idea. I don't know if I should show the clam bottle. I know that most of our listeners by now know what clam bottle is, but I will anyhow show it quickly to remind, because it's so fundamental to our understanding how space works.
Definitely, very good.
So this is, so here in this you cannot see the difference between outside and inside, or sometimes you can see the difference, but the outside goes here in the inside. That is the point. So I would say that this phrase is like the clam bottle, because John is outside, but he's also inside in the belly.
Yeah, most definitely, very good.
And this phrase reminds me of our your Canadian friend Stephen M. Rosen. Why?
Oh, he's actually American, but he lives in Canada. Yeah, yes, yeah, sure,
yes,
yeah.
Indeed. Because he had this pun, if we may call it pun, with the word whole. In the whole, you had a W, like here. W.
Oh, yeah, very good. I remember, yeah.
And you can put if you put the whole W within parentheses, you have whole. This whole like a whole, like here. This is a kind of whole.
Yeah.
But it's also a wholeness, the whole inside outside together. So it's a pun. This is similar pun, if you call it, when you put the. It's not with the W, but it's the similar idea. Here it's the H, which is in parentheses in rights. It's actually the same pronunciation in English, I think. Whether you pronounce it, yes, rights or rights. Don't you agree? It's the same pronunciation.
No, it's different. It's rice and rights.
I don't hear the difference.
Okay, yes, it's fair enough. No worries.
Right, right. And this you pronounce like how do you pronounce this one?
Rice.
Rides.
Rice.
But while you write something down. Rides. Okay, yes, okay, I understand. Let's go forward. Yes, on page 22, there was something in the PDF. 22.
Yeah, I this is a marvelous sentence that is just incredible.
Yes,
And it goes to show that if you don't take in the humor, you won't have seriousness either.
No, absolutely.
And you could go the other way, speaking about Jesus walking on water, to claim essentially that he did walk on water. And I would say that would be as bad. To have an Aristotelian explanation why he walks on water and give that as a proof. That would also be counter quantum mechanics and counter it making it possible for him to walk on water.
Yes. So today the Bible scholars they want to define what is the Book of Revelation, and these Bible scholars work within the concept of essentialism.
Oh yeah,
they ask what is, but let's assume let's do as they do, and then we would give a dictionary definition to Book of Revelation, that is essentialism. So here you have it. Revelation is a work of disgust. To think about that would be rather fun if you had a Bible dictionary and then you look Book of Revelation, then Book of Revelation is a work of disgust. So the phrase is actually fun. And let me go something else which is also fun. Let me see next page. Page 23 in PDF. This is about the subtlety of Greek language, of course, but I will explain it. So even if you don't know Greek, I think it's clear enough. So this is a quotation from Revelation 13, verses 3 to 4. And here you read, "The entire earth was amazed by the beast." And here you can, as you see here, by literally obiso means by the beast.
Oh yeah.
So if you give this alternate translation, the entire earth was amazed after the beast. So it was looking behind the beast.
Yeah.
At its tail, or even its anus. Since we have speaking about anus, so
yes.
So we should actually, if we take it literally, we could take it literally. So the people are amazed after the beast, so to say. They are looking at its rear side of the beast. And I like it. So this alternative.
Very good. It's very good.
Alternative obiso. I don't know why Silvermore doesn't make a point of it, but.
Well, he does some very nice points there, and there's loads of humor here, and that goes for telling.
And
what do you say, Khaled? Should we round up there, maybe?
Yes, let me say one last thing. So it was this one. No, it's he uses this word very times. Yes, this one. Rome is represented in intensely sexualized terms in Revelation.
Oh yeah.
In gender and in the intensity of affect, because the intolerable cultural closeness of Rome requires corporal metaphors. So I want to highlight here the cultural closeness. So
yeah,
Jerusalem is culturally even closer than Rome. Because
that's true. Actually.
So here you could actually use Babylon as a symbol for Rome. It's the inside enemy, of course, it's closer than Rome. Yeah, while John doesn't really have anything in common with Rome, while he does have a lot of common with Jerusalem.
Yeah.
But let's end there.
Well,
End there, Hans.
yeah. Thank you very much.
Yes, there was even something very funny that you will love it. This time there were many things. Here.
I know what you want to. You pointing to coitus interruptus. No, there wasn't that one.
Not actually. Let me see. So I will ask you, Hans, what does the Swedish author Strindberg and the Bible have in common?
I do not know, Kalle.
Hate of dogs.
Okay.
Both the Bible and August Strindberg hated dogs.
Okay.
And here you see also the dogs. So
yeah, it's very humorful. First they help, and then they still have to be outside. Just great, Kalle.
Let me tell you a joke. No, this is a fun story. So, you know, Jehovah's Witnesses, they forbid birthdays. They say that the followers should not celebrate any birthdays because in the Bible, birthdays are only mentioned twice, and at both occasions they end very badly. They end badly because there is somebody who is killed. For instance, John the Baptist.
Yeah.
His head. So this is the argumentation by Jehovah's Witnesses, because birthdays are something bad.
Oh.
But by the same token, since birthdays are mentioned in bad terms, also dogs should be forbidden.
Yeah.
Because they are only mentioned in bad terms. Don't you agree? Dogs should be forbidden.
Yeah, maybe, or just because of humor, it should be the opposite. That makes actually more physical logic. And since in the Bible birthdays are mentioned in bad context, that would make sense physically and reality-wise to promote birthdays, because that's how physics works. Okay, I think you better end there.
Yes.
Stop here. Thank you very much, Kalle. Have a very nice morning, everybody, to listen in, or day or afternoon. And bye-bye for now.
Wow.